First matchup for today is going to be AIM or Am I Mad versus Made in Meta or MIM as their tag is known. Let's take a look starting off. Let's take a look at their builds and stuff. So let's take a look starting off over at Am I Mad. What are we seeing over here, Grouch?
So we're going to start out with Q, right? So Q's running a little bit different build than I've seen lately, which is good. I like seeing a little bit of innovation here. Looks like 30 in explosives. It's something that you normally see. Some really good traits in this line. 100% chance to proc burning for 4 seconds on crit. Yeah, pretty average stuff. The things that I think that are weird on this build is that he's running Runes of Balthazar, which I guess the 6-point set bonus gives you when you use a healing skill. Nearby foes are burned for 3 seconds with the 10-second cooldown. Kind of an interesting choice there. It's also using carrying amulet.
Yeah, you think with that kind of rune set you'd be using your heal kit instead of the healing turret, but nonetheless he's chosen to take it anyway. So quite an interesting build. What do you think he's going to be going for here? Generally, like damage or tankiness, or?
Well, I mean, carrying gives you a balance between power and condition damage with a lack of crit. So I think he'll be doing a lot of damage, just not a lot of, obviously not a lot of crits. So we'll see.
All right. Well, with that said, let's move on to Ovi, the Ranger for Am I Mad. Let's see what he's running here. He's got, let's see, Runes of Dwayna. He's got a Signet of the Hunt, Signet of the Wild, and Lightning Reflexes. And he will be running a short bow, sword, and torch, along with a Shaman's Amulet. What do you think he's trying to go for here, Grouch?
Looks like a Beastmaster build, man. He's gonna be super tanky. He's gonna fight on points. He's going to let his pet do most of the damage here while he dodges around and avoids as much damage as possible. This build has the potential to, well, I guess he's running short bow, but normally this build has the potential to 1v2 for a pretty good amount of time. So he's gonna be sitting back point or possibly pushing power point, just trying to keep that neutered as long as possible.
There's been what seems to be a shift actually in the Beastmaster builds recently, from going from running axe, torch, and then sword, dagger to more of what we're seeing here now. I've seen more and more people starting to run this, so maybe this is starting to become the thing. But anyway,
well, I think the thing is that when you're sitting on point and you only have melee weapons, you can just, like, if an engineer comes to your point, he can just sit off point and throw the nades on you. You try to run off point to get to him, he's going to try to run back on point and get a couple decap ticks on you. So it gives him a little potential to stay on point or be able to do obviously damage from range.
Very well said. Let's move on to Saturconi. Did I say that right?
Satar Baloney, I believe.
Anyway, looking at his stuff, he's got 5 out of 6 Runes of the Eagle and 1 Rune of Divinity. Interesting choice, skipping that 6-point there. And then he will be running with Sword, Pistol, and a Great Sword with a Berserker's Amulet over to his traits. What a build we have here. What do you think we got going here, Grouch?
It's going to be Phantasm Mesmer. Looks like it anyways. He's obviously running Signet of Illusion, so his Phantasms are going to have more HP. This build's sick, dude. You can sit it on back point, and you can, again, it's the same thing. It's the same idea as a Beastmaster Ranger. You just try to throw as many of your illusions out there and just try to dodge roll around and avoid as much damage as possible while your clones do all the work. This is probably one of the hardest builds to fight against 1v1. I guess that comes from me playing engineer. They have retail on all of the Phantasms. Anytime I throw a grenade, it's 3 hits of retail on every clone, so I have the potential of taking like 1,000 damage per grenade toss. So it's a tough build to 1v1.
It's going to be fun to see that. Moving on to Do Your Best Bear, the first Guardian, as we see him dancing now for Am I Mad. Looking at his armor and weapons first, he's going to be running 6 Runes of the Soldier, as well as Shouts and an AoE Consecration, so this looks like a pretty usual defensive Guardian build. We'll look at the traits in a second, though. He's got a Cleric's Amulet, along with Sword, Shield, and a Hammer. Looking over to his traits, running 0, 0, 10, 30, 30. Seems like your usual Guardian defensive build, very tanky, able to take a lot of damage and generally stay on the point. Can you agree, Grouch?
Yeah, definitely. We have seen a little, in the past couple turns, we have seen a couple variations in this build, but I think this is definitely becoming the main build, or the apex build, as it is called. I think it's definitely the strongest, personally.
So we're going to see a lot of defensive play coming from Do Your Best Bear. And last but not least, on Team Am I Mad, we have Arkin Elric, I believe is his name. Looking over to his stuff now, he's got a Staff and Hammer. That staff may be for pregame buffing, but we are not sure of that. He's running Runes of the Pack, actually. What do you think you got to say about that there?
Well, it's definitely an interesting choice. I mean, 5% chance to grant nearby allies Fury, Might, and Swiftness when you're struck with a 10-second cooldown is not too bad. I've personally never seen these runes run in competitive play, or, as far as I know, even hot joins, so I don't really know how it's gonna pan out for him. But it is an interesting thing he's going here. He has Staff and Hammer with a Berserker Amulet. I kind of feel like we're being trolled a little bit. but it'll be interesting to see what happens with that build there during this game.
It is a very weird build too. Even he's got smite condition. It seems like a support build just looking at it from a distance, but the Berserker amulet's throwing me off on that. And then his traits themselves, running 10 points in Zeal, 30 points in Valor, and then 25 points in Honor. That's nothing we've ever really, nothing I've ever really seen before.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like he's playing pick up sticks with traits, man. I'm not sure what's going on here,
I mean,
or just even items and runes and everything. So we might see a change come out of him. I'm not sure.
He's running altruistic healing, so like I said, possibly a support build, like support offensive. But that Berserker amulet is making me question things. Regardless, that's AIM rather. Am I mad for you? We're gonna move on to MIM now. Look at Azani first, the Mesmer on this team. Take a look at his stuff. He's going to be running 7 runes of the Ogre, a staff, sword, and focus, along with the Berserker amulet, and his build is going to be what we usually see from high damage Mesmers, running 20-20-00-30. Can you agree?
Yeah, definitely. This build's going to be does a lot of damage. You got to really watch out. Like the burst that they put out is a pretty good tell on it, a pretty good telegraph, I guess you could say. But if you get caught in that the shatter burst with the blurred frenzy, it does an insane amount of damage. Definitely something you need to keep an eye out for. Also, he's got Portal, obviously, there. We didn't mention that on Stats Arconi, but it's going to give him a ton of mobility on the map. Also, Illusion of Life, giving him the ability to res his teammates almost near instantly. The Illusion of Life, obviously, is not a standard res. It gives them 15 seconds of life. If they do not get a kill that they rally off of within those 15 seconds, they'll go back into down state. If they die during Illusion of Frenzy, or pardon me, Illusion of Life, rather, they will go down permanently.
All right, well, it's going to be interesting to see how he plays that. Moving on to Bayer Jung. How do I pronounce this? Bayer Jungren, I believe, is the name of my German pronunciation.
Beer, I think. Beer. Let's call him Beer, I think.
Beer Jungren. If they would like to whisper me the pronunciation, that would be appreciated. But anyway, this is a fill-in, I believe, actually. From what I understood, someone from their team had to drop out. So
yeah, they lost their normal NG, I think.
So Sam maybe they're fill-in actually. So, but anyway,
what?
He's not running the tags, is why I'm questioning it. But anyway, his build, he's the Guardian for Team MIM. He's going to be running Runes of the Soldier. Again, looks like a pretty similar build to what we're seeing over from MI Matt. He's running Scepter Focus, however, and then Sword and Shield with a Cleric's Amulet. And his traits are going to be the same thing as we're seeing on the other team as well.
Yes, indeed. Again, just definitely one of the stronger builds here. Again, I talk about this every single time because I think it is really interesting. There are really interesting Guardian minigames that are played on midpoint, especially on NA, where you try to debunk each other with Hammer. In EU, they don't use Hammer very often, and it's mostly just trying to stay alive on point, whereas in NA, you're trying to get the other Guardian up point, get the decapping, try to get the full cap as well, if you're able to outplay them hard enough. So it's interesting to see how when EU and NA matches up, it's interesting to watch the mid-fights on Guardian. Even if it does seem a little bit boring, it's actually a pretty competitive minigame being played.
All right, well, moving on to Sam, the engineer for Team MIM, looking at his stuff now. He's going to be running 6 Runes of the Nightmare, Pistol, with Rabbit Amulet as well. And looking over to his traits, it looks to be like HGH, which is with 30 points of explosive, though. That's the difference there.
Nope. This is pretty. I'm not gonna say the word, but yeah, this is the HGH build, man. This is it. We've got it locked in. He is running. Obviously, since the last patch when Elixir S and Mistform got nerfed, everyone switched over to Elixir R, which gives the ability to throw down a field on the ground, which will give 20% life ticks when someone's in down state, and basically you can self-res, which is really strong.
Oh,
and also use it on teammates as well, and throw it from a distance, which is really nice.
And he also just left.
His build is too top secret, doesn't want people talking about
it. He left the arena. All right, anyway, moving on to MIM Soldaris, looking at his stuff now. This is going to be a Thief for Team MIM, running Runes of the Ogre, a Sword Dagger, as well as a Short Bow. Interesting choice. Actually, pretty... I don't know a lot about Thieves, actually, but...
This is a Sword Dagger. That's like definitely one of the newer builds coming out that, well, I guess it's not new anymore, but since the last patch when they changed some things on Thief, this build became very strong. Obviously, Flanking Strike on the 3 ability on Sword gives the ability to strip boons, and also there's like 75% evasion when you're running this build with the Sword Dagger. It's really strong. You dodge around constantly. I'm not sure the trait lineup here. I don't play Thief that often, but it looks like he's going to be getting a ton of initiative back, so I'm assuming he will be dodging and evading quite a bit.
It seems like he's trying to be maybe like a bait build, sort of. Like this could be something completely new, running a bait build where everybody sees the thief and they're like, oh, squishy, and they all try to kill him. However, with all the dodges and stuff, and I have seen this a lot playing on NA, that he's going to be a lot harder to kill than you would initially think. So possibly bait build?
Maybe. I mean, on Sword 2, you do have a really long range teleport,
Yeah.
and you have the ability to teleport back for a very long time as well. And it has no max range, so you can literally teleport across the map and then Sword 2 back to where you started from. So it's actually really strong. Yeah, it also it breaks stuns and it cleanses the condition, I believe, as well. So yeah, it definitely could be doing that.
All right, and last but not least, we have Ultima, the Elementalist for Team MIM. Looking at his stuff here, he's going to be running Runes of the Scholar, a Scepter Dagger, and a Valkyrie's Amulet. Looking over to the build, running 020, 020, 30, which is a pretty offensive build for an Elementalist, if I do say so myself. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's going for air training within air to give him a little bit more damage within the air attunement. The big thing here is lining up your earth combo with your air combo, and it does like 75, on a squishy target like a thief, you can take him down like 75% HP. Just with one combo, so he's definitely a little bit more offensive. Kind of sacrificing some traits within water magic that'll will make him as team orientated or sustain orientated, but it's definitely a good choice.
Alright, and now Sam has rejoined, so let's take a final look at his stuff here. Looking over to him once more. Maybe he changed it. Nope, still running Runes of the Nightmare, pistol, and his build has remained the same, so I don't know why he left. Anyway, taking 30 points in explosives, which is going to allow him to do a lot more damage with his grenades, as well as put, I believe it's... How many grenades are on the initial throw? He left again. 2 or 3 grenades per throw?
It's two standard grenades, 2, and then it goes up to 3.
Okay, so he's going to have the possibility of adding 3 stacks of vulnerability for every single attack he does with that grenade kit. So, anyway, so he's running a pretty high damage engineer build. So as soon as he rejoins, I think we're ready to start. Just check in with all of our other casters.
Other casters ready, man. Too much concern. Let's just get the show on the road. Let's get rolling. Let's do this. We got like 9-hour games ahead of us.
Anyway, all right, I think we're ready here. So we just gave them the go-ahead. As soon as everybody's readied up, we're gonna get started. Are you ready, Grouch?
Dude, I'm so ready.
Is your voice ready?
It's gonna be ready. It's ready right now. I got some cough drops on standby just in case, but I think I'll be good for now, anyways.
Gotta keep the water police on standby. I'm gonna need some. Anyway,
the water police.
Yeah, the water police. They're gonna need, or the water delivery guys. Anyway, we're getting ready to
water police.
We're getting ready to go here, guys. The first match, Team MIM versus Team MI Mad. We're gonna take a look here. We're seeing Swiftness Bus being tossed around by both teams, as well as over on Team MI Mad. A little bit of might as well. Opening up the map to see our splits. It looks as though that MI Mad is going to move over, actually.
Yeah, they're definitely thinking about it. A little hesitation. They do have 2 on that home point right now, so he's probably not going to want to go in unless he can sneak by. No, looks like he's going to get ganked out.
Yeah, Ovi tried to go for a cross here. Unfortunately, it was not very successful, and that's going to knock Ovi out there right at the beginning of the game. Ark and Elric is also going to be pushed back here as well and sold there. So they're going to, while they are going to be held back here from initiating on the keep, they did manage to get the early kills off.
Do Your Best Bear's doing a pretty good job at mid right now against Beer. They actually were able to keep him off point for a pretty long amount of time. Unfortunately, we can't see the ticks on the node on the current spectator UI, but I think they're pretty close to camping for Red Team.
And we are seeing the big team fights starting out now. We just saw a heck of a lot of AoEs and stuns being thrown in there. I believe somebody just used their Illusion of Life.
Indeed, they did. That's actually on Beer. So
Yeah.
Beer has 15 seconds to make something happen. They need to get a stomp. Probably going to try to take down Q-Hu, or Kaboom, rather.
Is it Quab? Yeah, Kaboom.
Kaboom.
Kaboom's his
Yes.
name. Beer had just gone down. The illusion charge had expired, but Kaboom is also going to go down. So the question, I believe they just got Beer up. So all I got to do now is stomp Kaboom, and they're going to be up in this fight. Satterconi has also gone down. Their red team's trying to do their best to res, but To Your Best Bear is also gone down. Excellent job with those AoEs there from MIM. They managed to take down 3 of the members of MI Mad with that combo there. Nicely done.
Oh, you can just see the Connie's going out right now. The engineer did an amazing job just getting all the cleave on the bodies when they went down. That was a
Nicely
pretty big
done.
mistake on Aim's part going for that res with so much Condi around.
And blue team is going to capture the middle. However, they are down at the moment. 2 points for MI Mad to just the 1 point, which we will be seeing capped here in a minute. for Team MIM.
It looks like Obi actually is trying to come over to Henge to try to get a decap on that point there, but I believe there's actually 3 already right here. We have Azani, Soldaris, and Ultima already on this point ready to take him out. Actually, Sam's here as well, so I believe they do have 4 here on this point. They still have their Guardian mid on keep.
So MIM here doing an excellent job with defending these points. They're really moving together, working as a team. That's a nice job there. AIM's going to have to find a way to work around that, as they are. It looks like they tried to come in here to reinforce, but they're having second thoughts about it now. Soldaris is trying to distract some of them, but it looks like Red Team is going to try and move up to keep now. Yep.
Definitely a good option for them. I think there was just too many reinforcements on Henge for them to try to push in and try to save Obi there.
Right now we do have a 2v1 on the middle point. 3v1 now, as Red is 4v1. Beer Hyungen, just going to call him Beer. Beer is going to have to hold up here, as we now see MIM is reinforcing now.
Beer should go down here momentarily. He has got no more cooldowns. He's got nothing left. He actually does go down here. So if they can get a stomp on him, it's going to be great for AIM getting this team fight in their favor. They actually do get the stomp.
And if Arkin was mowed, but they didn't really seem to utilize it as well as they could have there, and he's now out of that, so that was going to be a waste of a pretty long cooldown, unfortunately, there for MIM. And we also see Kaboom has just thrown down his elixir. He's going to go down, but more than likely with the help of that, yep, he's going to get himself back up there. Nice job by Kaboom. MIM Ultimate was also just stopped. Sam is also down now. Nice job there by MI Mad. They are going to wipe this up pretty quickly here and recap this.
It just goes to show how crucial getting the enemy team's Guardian down is at the beginning of the fight. Is once you get them down, you lose all of the potential that they have from being tanky going in for reses. It's just, and plus all the team support they throw out with healing.
And Maiden and AIM is being relentless here with this. They chased Soldaris off the point, took him down too. It looks like Kaboom's going to go for spawn here now. Now that they have the general kill advantage, they're going to waste no time here and get this boss kill, get themselves an additional 25 points. So currently, MI Mad, their names are so similar, I'm gonna get confused, I know it. But MI Mad is currently leading by about 70 points at the moment. Maiden Meta does, I believe, will in a second here have the control advantage if Ultima caps this, but Ultima gets mowed, and he's going to get taken down with almost no effort here. Nice job there. They're going to use that and get rid of him pretty easily. AIM's definitely going for kills here, Grouch. Can you agree? They're definitely out to kill. They're not out to get rid of him.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's interesting to see. MOA is something that we didn't really necessarily see on NA too often up until these tournaments, actually. On NA, the meta, so to speak, was definitely using Time Warp for team fights, but we definitely seen a swap to people kind of trying to take one target out in a team fight and just make the odds in their favor. Sorry
to interrupt you here, but we are seeing Maiden meta. They're going to go for a triple Shadow Refuge here and move in on the mine over here. Let's see how they do this. They're going to ignore Satyrcone as he goes by and jump right in. They're just going for a bit of a gank on this point. And
Satyr does have actually a portal there on the point, so he should be able to get back and get it back on the point. Actually, I think at this point probably a bad idea because they do have Sam and Azani there, so good idea, good point, not moving in. So what they could do though is wait for them to leave that point, and Satyr can just kind of teleport back in and get the new back again.
So MI Mad is trying to congregate over there, but at the same time, we're going to take a look at Ovi's point of view. They are aggressing the point as well, so we're just going to, looks like as long as Beer goes out here within the next couple of seconds, we're just going to see a trade-off of points.
Yeah, we talked about Arkin's build here at the beginning of the match, and I thought that he was messing with this, but it's actually kind of nice. Having a Guardian that's running a Berserker Amulet and able to debunker someone off of a point, it's actually pretty interesting. And
it seems, I mean, it looks like with his Empower, he's getting more heals because of that trait choice he took. Let me open it up again and just look here. His 30 point in Valor, his altruistic healing now, is going to make the 4 on his staff do a lot more healing because it gives out might stacks whenever he does heals as well. So that's actually a pretty nice choice in traits there. He's a pretty good build that he's running there in terms of self-sufficiency.
Yeah, over here on mine, looks like we had Satyrcone and Kaboom both kind of try to take the point away from Sam and Azani. He did throw down the Elixir R when Satyr went down, but they were unable to get the res off on him and Kaboom. But it actually looks like Do Your Best Bear does come in, try to get the res off on Satyrcone. I think they're going to have to sacrifice Kaboom going down. He actually does die there, but I think Bear's probably going to be able to get the res off on Satyrcone.
So Sam will get the res. We are seeing him do a lot of AoE damage now. However, he is pretty low himself, and he has pretty much no cooldowns. He does have his Elixir R down, which is going to throw down, and if we see it correctly, now we won't see that. Sometimes we see teams delay the kill when that goes down, but unless they use that, and Sam will res himself there.
Yeah, it looks like it kind of feels like losing these fights in these two side points over here right now. Arkanoic does actually go down on Henge against Beer and Ultima, so he's going to go down. They're going to get stomped out. They're going to cap that point back for MIM. And over here on mine, what do you think is going on?
It looks as though it's actually pretty even at the moment. Satyrcone is down, but Sam's in pretty low health, and regardless, this is on the red side, so Satyrcone's team does have pretty easy reinforcement. Sam just did go down to condition, so it looks like it could go either way at this point. Sam
Yeah, it
just
just
to
looks
get
like
up.
Sildaris. Yeah, actually, it looks like we did have Ovi come in and try to back them up, and Sildaris actually came in just shortly afterwards, and now we have Ultima here as well. So I think it's definitely going to go in MIM's favor. Do Your Best Bear actually does go down on point here. They're going to need to get him up. Having him in this fight is going to be absolutely crucial, but I believe they're probably just going to pull off the point.
Yeah, and Soldaris is just chasing Ovi now. Ovi just got wrecked the second he jumped on that point, so unfortunately he's not going to be able to last long. And Soldaris, with his excellent gap closing, is just going to take down Ovi there, so it looks like MAM is going to retain that point. Currently, however, AIM is still holding a pretty steady lead. They're up by a little less than 100 points right now. But nonetheless, we could still see MAM come back here in the next couple minutes.
Something to note, we do have both bosses up on the map currently. That secondary objective does give 25 points to the team who gets the last hit on the boss, rather.
Wow.
It also gives a buff on the points here as well.
I don't mean to interrupt you there, but we
Or on
just
the stats,
saw an amazing burst combo there from Soldaris. They just took out Arkin Elric with almost no effort. He went down, and due to that, MIM is going to retake the middle with no issues whatsoever. And I believe, who just went through that portal there? We're also seeing Beer Jungen, however, is getting pretty low here. He does have Ultima for support on this point, but nonetheless, this is now pretty much a 2v1 with Beer down. Ultima's going to use a misform to try and get him up. Is he going to get him? Yes. No, we're going to see a Sanctuary, a counter kill Sanctuary here, and it looks like Center Coding, Do Your Best Bear, going to go for the stop. They do. Oh, frame rate lag. They are going to get him down, and Sam will go down over on mine as well. This could be, this could actually be really bad for MIM here. They may lose both of these points, actually. Looking at Soldaris over at the mine, he really can't hold it. There's 3 members of AIM here, and he really can't do much against them, as they're going to more than likely retake this point.
Interesting to know. It looks like they actually have mid as unguarded at the moment. So if we can get one member from AIM to go up there and decamp that, it should be easy points.
There's a lot of focus in the side points in this game. They're really pushing for it. Both teams are just spread out all over the place. I believe AIM is going to recapture the mine now pretty safely with no opposition. But nonetheless, we're seeing them. We haven't seen very many fights at mid, and when they have had them, they've been pretty short fights. So interesting game to say the least.
Yeah, I feel AIM's comp is definitely catered towards playing on the side points. They, like I said before, they do have Arkin playing sort of like an offensive guardian, but he does have Hammer for debunkering other guardians. They do have Dear Best Bear, obviously can kind of bunker point for ages. They have Saturconi, who has his great mobility with his portal. They also have Kaboom, and then obviously Ovi playing the MM build, being able to go to far points and kind of hold those neut for as long as possible. Mm-hmm. Definitely think it's not, definitely not their team comp rather is not going to favor team fights, but definitely on side points they can do pretty well.
So MIM has retained control over 2 points, and it looks like they're positioning themselves pretty steadily now to be able to hold them. We're seeing this sort of this tiered offensive here, or this tiered defense here, to be able to hold them off. So it looks like we're gonna see Team AIM going for this point now. Looking over to here now at Ovi's, not Ovi. I wanted a Kaboom's point of view. They're gonna take down their boss again. Team AIM has definitely been better with the bosses this game. They've been focusing them more, and has been keeping them in the lead. They are within 100-point range of winning now. Actually, scratch that. Team MIM is now within the 100-point range of winning, and as will be MIM. They are down, however, by about 20 points.
Looks like the action is going to be over here on Henge. Looks like we have Beer versus Ovi, and we actually have Arkin coming in here as well. We should be able to get the decap here pretty easily if we can get Arkin to get some hammer on him. Looks like we actually have Azani coming in here as well, though. It's going to be a nice little 2v2.
There's also a fight erupting at mid. We're going to keep it on this 2v2, however. This is looking like I want to take a look at Arkin's build here. So we're seeing how he generally plays and what kind of damage he's doing. The red team just recapped mine, I believe.
And they actually do get the nude on mid, so it's going to be 1 cap for each team right now. So we actually have a potential for AIM coming back into this game. They just need to get the side point secured right now.
Looking over to the keep just real quick to see how that fight's going. Do Your Best Bear and Kaboom are going against Sam and I believe Ultima. It's a pretty even fight at the moment. However, Sam has just gone down to a burst combo. He has his elixir down though. Nice play!
By Bear. That was awesome. You get him knocked out of the elixir R, preventing the res.
That was an excellent play there by Do Your Best Bear, knock him out of the Elixir R. However, he may be able to self-res himself, unless Do Your Best Bear can find him. He will, and more than likely that's going to be an uncontested res there, as he now cannot cancel that. So Ultima will go down, and AIM will recapture that point. However, they do need to get a decap off on Hencher pretty quickly if they want to. Where is that eye? There's that eye.
It looks like AIM's just going to bunker this point pretty hardcore here. So that's probably going to be it for this team. I think the interesting thing to note here is that MIM, for a lot of people, was the team expected to take this competition, no problem.
Yeah.
And this isn't a slight to AIM at all, but I don't think that they were fan favorites at all coming into this game. I don't think people thought that they were going to, be the ones to dethrone anyone. But just with how close that game was, I really think that we have we have the potential for some really great games here on NA versus the ZU team.
And it's pretty even in terms of team fight ability, too. I mean, from just looking at the point counts here, it seemed like MIM had a bit of an advantage in terms of kills, but it wasn't too crucial. I mean, we're only seeing like 50-point advantage on their top scorers, so nothing really major. It's pretty even teams, regardless of MIM being the team favorite or the fan favorite for today. So MIM will now be 1-0, or it will be 1 to MIMAD's 0 in the set. They will be up, and we will be moving into round 2. Now keep in mind, guys, these are going to be best of 3s, with our finals being best of 5s. We are going to now be moving on to
five,
Fire.
eh?
Yeah, the finals are
I did not even know that. Man, I'm woefully uninformed. What maps are we playing?
We are playing on the standard 3 maps, Faux Fire, Legacy, and Kylo.
Oh, so then we'll just rotate back and do Forest for 4th round and Faux Fire for last round again?
Yes, sir.
All right, interesting. Good to know.
Yes, so we are now going to be moving on to the different map. We'll see different strategies come into play here, and possibly one team come out on top. Keep in mind, guys, that these are different maps, and a lot of teams tend to be weaker or stronger on these maps based on how they run their compositions. So it's going to be interesting to see how this possibly turns around here. Let's just check with the team, see if they want to change their builds at all. Yeah, tap, 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 tap.
You gotta get that silent keyboard,
tap, tap,
man.
There is a silent version of this keyboard.
You know, the mechanical keyboard, the clicking though, it's so esports, man. It's just, can you feel it?
Yeah, I know, man.
Love that noise. I just don't think anyone else likes it. So I'm kind of curious. We do see MIM's ahead of AIM 1-0 right now. We're going on to the second map, which is, I think, traditionally more of a team fight focused map. Obviously, people fighting over Graveyard in mid. It's a little bit harder for NA teams to demote each other on this map just because the midpoint is so large. And so I'm kind of curious with the 2 different team comps that we're seing run here today. Who thinks is going to take the second game, MIM or AIM?
You asking me?
I'm asking everyone. What do you think, Blue?
Just looking at the comps here, I could go either way, actually, because I mean, like, MIM's very strong, but the thing is AIM's somewhat new. I don't really know a lot about them, so I can't really call too much on them. If this was EU, this would be a different story, because I know a lot more about those teams and players, but I'm not too familiar on the NA scene, so I don't want to make a call just yet.
All right, well, for the record, I believe AIM has actually been around for ages. It's just this variation of AIM's a little bit different, but we've seen Satar Baloney on this team from as far as I can remember back. He's been on this team. Same with Ovi and Bear's definitely been around for a long time. Same with Kaboom.
Satar Baloney. Why are you calling him?
Am I pronouncing it wrong?
It's Satar Coney, isn't it?
Oh, is that a? Oh, okay. I guess I have been saying it wrong all this time.
Anyway, while we're waiting, I believe some of the teams are going to change their builds. We're just waiting on ready-ups right now. We're going to take a look at our bracket to show you guys the games we're going to be playing today. They can look at it right. The current match we are playing is MIM versus MIMAD. After that, we're going to be moving on to Team Sleepy versus Being OP is Hard. Following that, Booty Bakery versus Sitting on a Couch Gaming. And then the last but not least, we're going to have Team PZ versus Academy of the Mists. After that, we're moving into our semifinals and then our finals. So we're gonna back over.
Hey, looking at chat, we got that crazy delay, man. But it looks like I'm seeing quite a bit of people going for AIM. I guess we're kind of catering to the American audience right now.
Oh yeah, America,
land of the free, home of the brave.
You want to sing the song?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. That would be awful.
All right. Well, we're just checking in with the teams. Apologies for the random bits of silence here. We're also the admins for today's match, so we have to talk to the teams. I believe both teams are ready. We're just... Yep, alright. Here we go. Round 2 on Legacy of the Faux Fire. MIMAD versus Maiden Meta. Here we go, Grouch. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
That was a lot of excitement.
There was a lot of excitement. There was a lot of esports excitement there.
I'm depleted now. I have no more excitement for the rest of the day. That's
Look
it. I'm going home.
We're going to take a look starting off at Saturn Coney here. We're seeing both Might, Fury, and Swiftness going out to both teams here, opening up the maps. To see their splits. It looks like red team is generally going to group up. It looks like they're sort of splitting the strategy. They're going to send their range over to Farpoint again. However, 3 members of the blue team there. Ovi's probably not going to have too good of a time there. Red team will have a significant advantage starting off here in Graveyard, and it looks like Ovi's going to intercept. Let me move over to his point of view, actually. No, Ovi's just going to rejoin the fight at middle.
Actually, it looks like he's going to peel out of here. It's kind of hard to predict these players. His team fight, or his build is not really made for a team fight. He definitely wants to push these side points. So it looks like he's going to loop back around, probably try to push back into Waterfall.
Yeah, it looks like he is doing that. Actually, he's moving. That was actually pretty smart. He sort of told them like, "Oh, look, I'm leaving now," and now he's going back around. And there's no, I don't believe there's anyone at Waterfall, so he's gonna get that as a free cap. Nice job. And AIM's gonna get the early advantage due to that. They are gonna have 1 point to no points for MIM.
Yeah, it looks like they did get Bear down, and then Kaboom actually tried to throw crates down to try to prevent the stomp, but they actually look like they had stability and get the stomp off no problem. So, interesting play, kind of a waste of crates in the end there, but it was a good try. Looks like we just see a Moa going out here on Sam in mid from Satarkoni. And looks like they're actually probably going to get him off on point here. He does have a lot of connies on him. He actually does go down. He looks like Kaboom, actually Arkin, pardon me, is going to come in for the stomp here. They actually look like they get him out. So I'm actually going to have to put this into AIM's favor here on mid. They do have a lot on point currently.
Beer is also going down there now as well. And Soldaris won't last long either because Arkin just destroyed. Arkin does a lot of damage. I'm pretty surprised with this build, actually. He just absolutely melted Soldaris. He's doing a lot of damage. Definitely the surprise player for today.
I feel bad for saying he was trolling earlier. It is interesting. I've definitely never seen anything like it. But that's what's awesome about this game, man, is there's so much build diversity out there. If people are just going to take the initiative to go out there and find it, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of interesting stuff in this game to be had.
Now we did have Ultima come over here in Ninja Cap Quarry. However, he is under a 2v1 at the moment, so more than likely he has popped his misform. That's been decapped now, so he's not going to last long. It looks actually like he's going to try to get out of here, use his lightning. They'll use lightning flash, and he'll be out of there. Red team will retake that. Red team also has control over middle now. Go over to Ultima's point of view, actually.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Never mind. Take it back. No, I take it back. I take it back. Don't worry about it.
Red team currently behind in the score, but that'll only last for the next couple seconds because they do have control over 2 of these points. Blue team, MIM, only having control over 1 at the moment. However, they are looking like they're grouping up. Ooh, Ultima gets pulled in there by Kaboom, and he's going to take a lot of damage from that.
It looks like MIM is playing pretty conservative right now. They're kind of playing defensive. They're kind of grouping up. It looks like they do throw down the refuge here for the triple refuge. They're probably going to push back into mid and try to get an easy gank here on Do Your Best, but I'm assuming.
Just taking a look at Soldaris now. Looks like he's targeted Arkin, maybe? I'm trying to see who he's targeting. It looks like no, they didn't really use it to gank anyone. They just sort of used it as a surprise engagement. I'm surprised in that, actually. Usually with those refuge plays, we see him trying to go for a gank on one specific person. But I mean, Arkin did go down there from the AoEs, but it wasn't really a big gank. And Red Team just piling on Arkin, and they're going to have no trouble getting hit up. There's a lot of connies on the team now, but nonetheless, they got Arkin up with absolutely no trouble.
Now, it looks like Azani actually had to portal out here to keep the point in his favor as well, actually, against Tyr versus Ovi. Actually opts to portal back out once more and is just going to get that point up to Ovi. Or pardon me, I take that back. Actually, Sam actually comes in and goes for the play here.
Looking at Do Your Best Bear at the moment. They're chasing Azani off this point. AIM will assert control over this. They are currently up now. However, blue team does now have control. Meta rather does have control of both of the outer points. There's a 1v1 going over at Waterfall. We are looking like we're going to have a team fight go on over here at the quarry. Let's take a look at Kaboom's point of view.
It looks like Azani actually does land the Moa here on Satarkoni, so it's definitely going to put the fight in their favor for right now. Azani did come in with his heal already on cooldown, though. Kaboom is actually putting a lot of damage in him. He actually goes for the Shatter combo on Kaboom, but Kaboom does actually block the entire burst with his toolkit.
Satarkoni went down. We have 2 members trying to take down. Arkin took a lot of damage there, but he did manage to get Satarkoni back up. He's going to use his Ring of Warding now. And look, again, we're seeing him using his Empower to not only get the base heal, but a lot of other heals as well from that point trait, from those trait points rather that he took into Valor.
It actually looks like Azani does go down here on point. Elric actually does go for the stomp here, but he does teleport away from that, obviously.
Nice.
He actually knocks back Beer, goes to stomp again. He's actually going to get it. That was really
nicely
nice play
done
by
by Arkin. Yeah, nicely done. Ovi has gone down over at the waterfall, so Sam will be keeping that steady for his team. And again, look at this with the Empower. He just heals himself for like a third of his health when he has teammates nearby. It's a very impressive choice of traits and build. Nice utilization there by Arkin. And Ultima's also gone down and positions himself right next to Arkin for yet another stop. AIM doing a very nice job at controlling MIM here. They still do retain control, but it's not going to be for long, and they're really just feeding him kills at this point, if I do say so.
Well, as decisive as this fight seems on the side point, they are currently 2-cap. MIM does have the 2-cap right now, so this is not a good position for AIM right now.
And AIM
they
just
actually
took
do
the
get
lead.
the decap though on the side point.
AIM just did take the lead with that kill there, so they are now up in the set. They are now up in this game. And again, we're seeing, and AIM's really good with reses and stomps. I'm seeing just looking at Ark's point of view here. They're really, when a member of their team goes down, they all pile on him regardless of the damage they're about to take. And usually they do get him up, so they're really good team play there. We're going to see AIM move back over to middle now, as it seems blue team's going to make a move for it as well.
Well, what's really nice for Red Team with running two Guardians, they do have two sources of stability on demand from Stand Your Ground, which gives you 5.5 seconds nearly of stability, which is actually really nice for getting those reses off.
Very nice. And
That's one thing that we've seen from MIM is that a lot of times they get knocked off on those reses, they get knocked out. So having that stability has been really clutch for AIM so far.
Yeah, it's really helped them with getting the res along with this. What do they call it? Along with the sanctuaries as well. I believe they're both running sanctuary.
I don't
Nope.
believe so.
Cancel that. That was a miscall. Anyway, currently looking at Ovi's point of view, Ovi's. I'm not sure what Ovi. I mean, Ovi's been moving around a lot. What is she actually doing for this team? I'm a bit confused on that.
I think there's been a lot of indecision so far, kind of just not knowing where to go and when. But MIM sees the Beastmaster, so they're going to try to cover home point, especially at the very beginning of the game. I think that's where AIM has been really strong, has been the initial push out of the base. But with them seeing the Beastmaster Ranger, they know right away that we need to cover home point. And that's where we had Ovi just kind of run around in mid for kind of a long time at the very beginning of the match here.
And she is now just really just running around trying to avoid damage, so she's more of a distraction, if anything, at this point. Over, and it seems Beer, Julian, and Sam are going to take her down no issues. Let's take a look at where other fights are happening over here at mid now. We've got blue team sort of shaping up for a bit of an offensive. Looking at Azani here, who's going to jump on Do Your Best Bear. Or at least I think she's going to jump on him.
Probably not the best target choice, to be honest, but looks like they're actually going to pull it back into Waterfall here one more time. They do have Ovi here on the side, so if they come and get the quick gank on him, they're going to put him down 4v5, and they can push right back into mid.
So again, MI Matt is currently up in this game by about 60 points. They also hold the control points, 2 points to 1. MIM is down at the moment with 245 points. And in just a few minutes here, MI Matt is also going to be within range for a Lord Rush, so we might see that, and possibly not with this comp. It's generally a safer comp, so I don't think we're going to see that in this map. But
MIM is the team that made that fantastic Lord play in the Curse tourney. They're definitely fans.
Might see it, might not see it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's too early to call. You know, we can't ask for that thing every time, but it was pretty sweet.
Nonetheless, however, both of AIM's points are in contention now. They're going to have to spread out their resources to hold it properly. Looking at Azani right now, they are pressuring. I'm actually going to take a look over here. Do Your Best Bear has gone down in middle, so it looks like MIM is going to retake that. Nice job, Sam, there by sneaking in the kill and Do Your Best Bear. They're going to take that, and it looks like no one from Red's really coming. No, they're moving in now as they seen Do Your Best Bear come down. Take a look over here at Kaboom's point of view. He's moving into the middle point now.
Yeah, I don't think Bear's expecting that damage there. He actually had cooldown still up and ready to use when he went down. I don't think he's expecting the amount of Connie damage from Sam that he actually took.
And Kaboom chooses to allow them to cap it. He doesn't want to risk himself going down there. So MIM will be up now 2 points to 1, which will allow them to slowly come back here. And just to note, AIM is now within range for a Lord Rush.
And one thing to note, like you said that Kaboom kind of disengaged there, is that towards the end of these games, it becomes really crucial. If you lose one member of your team, you open yourselves up for that Lord push on your own Lord. Also, you just don't want to lose in these fights late game. Just with how close the score is, like it's deceiving. It's only 80 points, but it's still only 80 points.
Yeah.
It's really anyone's game still.
It can turn around pretty quickly. We saw a couple weeks back of that.
Actually, we might want to take a look at the Lord here.
Oh, who is that?
Looks like we have Ovi fighting against
Ovi.
Against Beer.
What is Ovi doing?
I think this might be a mistake at this point. I'm not entirely sure. We'll have to see how this one pans out. I think we got a little while before Ovi gets anything done over here, though.
Ovi's in her own little world. We'll come back to her later. Back over to Kaboom, who Kaboom actually seems like he's going to be moving into the base as well. Ovi might have been the preemptive strike. Let's see
now, at this point, MM needs to make a decision. Are they going to try to get the decap on those other points and just hope that Beer is able to zone Ovi off of this long enough? But Ovi's got a ton of sustain. And Beer's not going to be able to do anything.
Look at this now. Kaboom's going into the base as well. I'm trying to see if any of the other members are moving in there as well. Ovi's still up. I mean, Kaboom's probably going to come in here maybe, because we have seen NG's being able to solo the Lord. I think...
So we're going to need to see MIM bring damage. We need to see MIM bring damage into the base, but also get the decaps on the side points.
The Lord's going down now. Blue team is going to have to fall back to defend this a little more. Then we do see a nice play with the Sanctuary there. It's going to completely negate Kaboom's burst. He's not going to be able to throw grenades at that, really. And nice again.
Pull it out. Oh.
Kaboom pulls him out with his magnet. There's a lot of damage. The Lord's now under 50% health. Red team has to fall back, and it looks...
MIM actually... Oh my god, we missed the play on the other side. MIM counter Lord rushes. Oh my god, we're noobs.
we're casting noobs.
MIM with the second amazing Lord play.
Oh,
Jesus.
How did we not see that?
Too focused on Ovi derping around.
I can't make my minimap any bigger. My minimap was too small. I couldn't see it. Oh lord. Anyway.
God.
So MIM won that one? Yes?
Yeah, MIM won that one. Yes, indeed.
Okay, so with that said, MIM wins the set. And they will be moving on. That was a strange turn of events. So, all right, let me go over here now to our. I'm still a bit dazed as to what happened there, Grouch.
I'm waiting to see chat just yell at us for missing that last play.
Oh boy, oy vey. Okay,
Oy vey.
oy vey. So anyway, we now have to reset this map. Give us a second, because we're now at a 2-0. Give us a minute. We gotta get the other teams in here. Give me 1 second. Let's go over to our